Hi, Ron Benning, eXp Realty, SacramentoInvestor.com and StocktonInvestor.com. I'm here for a duplex market update for the Stockton market for September of 2020. This is for clients of Ron Benning and Sean Milam. If you have any questions about anything that I'm talking about on the video today, feel free to reach out to either one of us and we'd be happy to answer any of your questions. Let's dive right in. So one of the things that I'm kind of excited about in the Stockton market, I feel that Stockton has got a little bit more negative press than probably deserved. And what we find over time is that there is a gap between investor sentiment and the reality of what is happening in Stockton. And what this means is that I believe there's an opportunity in the Stockton market. Let's dig in and we can find out a little bit more about why I think that. The first chart I want to take a look at is showing the inventory levels now and over time. With regard to active inventory for duplexes, last year at the end of August there was 21 listings, and this year there's actually a little bit more. There's 24 listings at the end of August in the Stockton market. The next statistic I want to take a look at is the amount of pending sales. Last August at the end of the month there was 15 pending sales. This August there's 17 pending sales. Lastly, I want to take a look at the amount of sales for duplexes. Last August there were 9. This August there's 11. So what that means is there's a little bit more inventory, there's a little bit more pending sales, and there's a little bit more closed sales. What you're going to see is that Stockton is a little bit more on the radar than it was a year ago at this time. There was a real buying opportunity a few months ago for those of you that were watching it. I still think there's a good buying opportunity. We'll see in the statistics ahead what I'm talking about. The next chart that I want to take a look at is the average list price and the average sale price. Like I said just a moment ago, I think there was a significant buying opportunity in Stockton a few months ago. And I know maybe you're thinking, maybe I've missed that market. Well, you might have missed some of it, but as you'll see on the chart, there's actually appreciation happening in the Stockton market right now. It's slowed down a little bit in the Sacramento market, and some of the reason for that is the affordability between the Stockton and the Sacramento market. Stockton is much more affordable. I think a lot of people don't realize that there's a lot of good opportunities in the Stockton market, and the gross rent multipliers usually are at least 1 time lower, which provides obviously a little bit more cash flow. Like any market anywhere in the country, what you have to do is you have to take a look at the market and look and see if there's the quality of neighborhoods that you want to invest in. So in other words, if you were looking at a 3 or a 4 neighborhood in Sacramento, those same qualities on our scale are available in the Stockton markets. As I mentioned a little earlier, I think one of the reasons why Stockton is seeing such strong growth is that as a result of this COVID-19 virus, many employers are allowing their people to work at home, and many of those, it's a long-term plan, and some of those people are realizing that Stockton is just a whole heck of a lot more affordable. So as a result of that, you are seeing more people that are buying investment properties in the Stockton market due to the affordability and the fact that many of the tenants are fleeing the Bay Area for cheaper prices in markets like Stockton because they're able to telecommute from home. The next chart that I want to take a look at is the average days on the market and the percentage of original list price to sales price. And as you can see, the sentiment that I have been giving all through this video today is that the stock market is actually in a pretty solid position right now. In the Stockton market right now, the average sale price is 99% of the original list price. When you consider the fact that some sellers will always be unrealistic, that means that many properties are actually selling over the asking price to have a 99% of original sales price. The other thing that's kind of interesting is the days on the market. Last year at this time was actually only 20 days, and it's 31 now. But if you look at the September time frame last year, it was averaging about 44 days. Anyway, don't want to read too much into that other than that it is clear that many investors are starting to recognize Stockton as a good alternative to Sacramento and some other markets where they may not have considered it as strongly just 6 months ago or a year ago. Like I just mentioned a minute or two ago, in April there was a significant buy opportunity where prices dipped because of a large amount of inventory that was on the market. Unfortunately, a lot of that inventory has been scooped up at this point, and we're down to a 2.2 month supply of inventory, which clearly has us in a fairly strong seller's market. But I wouldn't let that get you too discouraged, because I think that there's still some good buying opportunities in the Stockton market over the next few months. The other thing that Sean and myself have been talking to a lot of our clients about is, in either of the markets, taking a look at some of the inventory that's been out there just a little bit longer and making just a little bit lower offer. Nobody's given anything away, but I think it's a valid strategy that we've been able to use successfully several times in the last month. So what would I be expecting for the Stockton market over the next few months? I would expect that we will probably see a little bit more inventory going into the fall. I would continue to expect there to be some appreciation in the Stockton market over the next few months, unless there's some other significant market disruptor that comes along. I believe the Stockton market is a good long-term opportunity market. I think that after the foreclosure meltdown, Stockton got a bad rep. I think a lot of those issues have been worked through. And it's something that if you haven't been considering it, you might take another look at it. If you have any questions about anything that I've talked about in this video, feel free to give myself or Sean Milam a call. We look forward to helping you buy or sell your next investment property in the Stockton market.